My name is Simon Roundhost. I'm from Denmark. I like the format of the PGL tournament. Basically what I've experienced recently is that whenever you force people to play the not best decks, the players who are the best really show themselves. You force people out of the comfort zone, you force them to think for themselves. Like, it's not all these pre-made decisions where you've done it 1,000 times maybe. When you have to play some of the weaker decks, it's so interesting for me. And also, the weaker decks are the decks that in general tend to go longer. And the longer games go, yeah, the more skill-based it is. Another thing about the format as well is variety of strategies, because it's so complex with all the decks and the bans that are possible. It's just interesting to see what people are bringing. I thought people would bring one thing, but already in my first match I had a guy pick, Colento pick Mage against me as his first pick, which was like, can you do that? I also don't think it was the best idea probably, but it was an interesting idea, I guess. My group was what I've been calling the group of death, basically. Myself, Colento and Sixo in one group. That's a rough one. Fortunately, I managed to beat both Colento and Sixo. I guess, unfortunately for me, I had to play Colento in the first one. I would have obviously preferred to play Angelo Shaggy. I'm really happy I beat Sixo and Colento because they're obviously very strong opponents. And particularly Sixo is on a complete roll recently. And he managed to beat me twice in a row in a team tournament we played. Both of them were 3-2 and both of them came down to Murloc Paladin Mirror. Fortunately, I didn't have to play that against him this time. I'm not afraid of any opponent ever. Yeah, it's not a healthy way of thinking about it. But I guess the opponents that I consider the strongest are Sixo, obviously, and then probably my teammate JJ. There are a lot of good players, but nobody in particular I think stand out compared to those two. I don't know how much I like the whole banning cards thingy. It's like the community standing together as a whole against cards like Yoxoron and Tusker Totemic, telling Blizzard, listen, we don't want this crap in our game. But as for in the future, I don't hope that tournaments are gonna need to ban cards, and I don't hope that's the direction. Because then, where do we draw the line? I want to compete with the cards that are being played on ladder. Like, that's the game. I don't want to be playing some alternate game where we completely change the rules and we take cards and say, no, let's not play with those. Because then it's going to become like super casual tournaments, in my opinion. You have to make sure that this is like, we're actually competing in this game, we're serious. And the rules are, to some degree, they're gonna be the same. We're gonna play with the card pool that's available. Maybe banning cards is viable, I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I don't think I like it. I enter any tournament thinking that I can win it all, but you have to look at how likely it is. And I think now that I'm top 8, yeah, probably a bit more than 1 in 8 to win. I don't know how much, and it also doesn't matter. I think the way I've always approached it is just like one game at a time. If you expect that, oh, I need to get out of my group, well, you're playing a card game, you can get unlucky. You're just setting yourself up for disappointment and stuff. I just prefer to just always try to perform the best that I can. I would like to think that I always do, but it's obviously not the case. I mean, I'm also a human. That's how I like to approach it, like just play the best every time and eventually the wins will come. Maybe it's not this time, maybe it's another time, but you know, they will come. Like, I've been to Romania quite a lot of times. I think it's like 4th or 5th time this year already. Obviously, I haven't visited the country in like as a real tourist. Every time I've been busy like playing tournaments, I don't feel like I really truly know the real Romania, but everything that I've been exposed to has been kind of cool. It's pretty cool that you go here and everything's so cheap. For my next opponent, I just want to say good luck, have fun.